It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song. So out there on behind the lines, this.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
All right, let's get everything started here. Welcome to 500 Magnum joining us right away this morning. Look, my puppy, when I said 500 Magnum, see what happens? Puppy's ears go up. 500 Magnum. So we're bringing up the Instagram here on Wednesdays. Our Daily Gun Show focuses on Instagram, the platform that's all about the pictures. And each week I follow Instagram. I used to be a big fan of the Instagram, more so than now, but I still go over there once in a while and peruse what's being posted over there. And my lack of interest is shared by others, so it's not necessarily the most happening platform anymore. But because I follow quite a few channels and it is still on people's lists, there is stuff being posted there, and it tends to be different than the, I don't know, flavor or the tone of stuff over here on the YouTube. So on Wednesdays, we go live, and we do this consistently to kind of pull the stuff over from Instagram, put it on YouTube. But here's the extra bonus. I don't do things for no reason. I don't do them because I got nothing else to do. Doing this is an effort to share links and to share awareness. So I'm not just looking at pretty pictures or interesting dances over on Instagram. What we're going to be looking at is stuff that has value to those who value what the Second Amendment protects. So typically efforts that are being done to advocate, or mostly advocate. I don't care about most of the other efforts, because most of the other efforts I don't think are as valuable over time. But to shed light on some of the things that wouldn't necessarily be at the top of everybody's lists. So thanks everybody who's joining us live. I do this live because I value reality. I value the unscripted presentation of data. In this case, kind of the unscripted look back at data. And then if you're joining us live, feel free to leave some comments like 500 Magnum did. I can bring those up on the screen using the StreamYard software that we're using today to stream with. Things reminds me I should go back up there. So I think I found it about a week ago. Distracted a little bit because my internet seems to be doing some up and down dance. So I want to apologize. I've got bad internet. It's one of the things I deal with even in 2023. All right, so last week we were taking some of these memes and did we end it on Woods Dogs? No, I don't think so. So we must have taken a look at it's Woods. Every once in a while he shows up in the chat. That's his. Renee, that one show. So that was the 14th. Did I miss it? On Instagram right now. I mean on YouTube right now. So that would be in arms. Sister in Arms, like a journey. Sisters in Firearms story. That's the name of their channel. So if I did all that over here. Good look. And it looks like, yeah, I haven't missed it. They just haven't posted it yet. So we'll drop a link over here though. Great channel, worthy of your time. They've been doing their project at the local, what's it called? Community access. Wait, is it what it's called? Community access? Whatever you called the old, back in the days of cable television, I think they were required by law to have a room with equipment available, public access, that's what it was called. A room available or a place available, facilities available to let people be part of the cable television. And that was called public access. And it was a few channel or 2 or 3, depending on how big the city was, I think, or how big the cable network was. And people could essentially sign up, first come, first serve, as resources allowed, and request to do a show. And the shows over on public access were crazy. They were the internet of the olden days. They were awesome. They were all over the place, from being interesting to crazy to weird to highly well produced, or as much as possibly done well, to just garbage. And I'm sure they launched a bunch of different careers and things. So they're using the facilities there. As you can see, it makes it a great looking facility as far as the studio goes. And they're taking advantage of that and able to broadcast on that, but then also use it for their YouTube projects. So pretty cool. Anyway, they had Toby on from Cape Gunworks, and that reminds me as well, since are we still looking at YouTube? Let's bring up our subscription list, and we're going to have Rapid Fire Radio goes live after this show. Let's see if they've got it posted yet. Sometimes they post it earlier in the day, and I can link to it. I consider this show an opening act for that one. It's not posted yet, but I'll keep an eye on it throughout the show. Let's see. So with that, we'll go on to the next one. Oops. I think we did look at this one. Alan Anchor doing a new logo for Moms Who Carry. I don't know who that is, but pretty cool looking logo. I guess we can look at it over here. So one of the neat things about Instagram, and actually most platforms, pretty much all the platforms, is the ability to interact. And so I could click on a post I seen. I clicked on the name of the account there. That took me to that account's page. And now I can see what they're posting out there. See what they're all about. See what their thing is. Well, I don't know why they're posting her, so won't be following that one just yet till we find out more about it. All right, so then we'll go over to this one, and we got Rebecca hanging out with Tony. It says, going 4 years without seeing my good buddy Tony Simon in person is too long. My face still hurts from all the smiling, and my ribs still hurt from all the laughter. Much love and respect, my friend. Keep up the great work with the diversity shoot. I'm so proud of you for living out your success, and I'm excited to see what you do next. So, Rebecca Schmoy from Kansas. Plug for the state that looks like a rectangle, or one of the states that looks like a rectangle. And Tony, of course, from New Jersey. So, Black Friday. And I'm free shipping. So, buy a couple of books and get some free. We don't have the Magnum's post here. Oh, stupid internet. Why don't we play a commercial? If we are connected, you're going to hear a commercial. Maybe that. I probably have too many windows open, maybe. I don't know how my internet is. Let's play a commercial. That puts the speed back up.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
It hasn't done nothing. Give me some feedback. How bad is the connection here? Is it worth restarting and everything? All right, so the Gizzard is out there. Welcome. I was wondering if anybody else was. I'm just talking to Magnum today. So both of these guys are out here. All right, so Alan Anchor doing their special, their sales over there. This is one of the gun shops in, I think it's outside of Oklahoma City, if I remember right. And this was their employee of the month. I think we looked at this one last week because I can remember that girl belly. Look at all that girl dog belly right there. Then we got another gun shop, Davenport Guns. They did that cool sweatshirt for Unapologetically Armed, and this is their puppy. Dang it. All right, this is probably where we actually cut off last week. This thing's pretty neat. I think it copyrights me.
5-point star and an 8-point, so they'll fit whatever kind of tank valves you've got. So here's my 5-star for this one, which is a 5-star valve. Put that on. Now, when I open the valve, I see red. So I know from across the shop, oh, that's open. I know I'm working on it. And when I close it, no more red. So from across the shop, I can look at my tanks. I can make sure they're all closed. No more wasting gas. No more leaving them open. Great thing for improved shop safety. Super handy. Check them out.
Super cool. So, it's not all about news and important crap. Sometimes it's just interesting stuff like that. Pretty neat. Cody Firearms Experience. This is the awesome gun shop in Cody, Wyoming. There's only 2 good things to do in Cody, Wyoming. One is go to the Dug Up Gun Museum. That's the free museum that's upstairs. And it's a guy's personal collection of guns that he's found or collected that were dug up from fields or found underneath lakes and stuff. So it's a bunch of rusty gun parts and the stories and everything behind them. It's a great museum that's actually a museum that shares. And then you've got the Firearms Experience, which is a gun shop. It's actually just a gun store, gun shop, shooting range with some other facilities and some other things you can do there. This is one of their posts. It says, this is them posting a user feedback, I think. Had a blast shooting 2 of my dream guns. The staff was amazing, great history on the guns, and safe to work with. Will definitely return 5 stars. So it says, our customers are the best. Well, first off, right on, it gives me a chance to talk about how great the 2 good things are in Cody, Wyoming. One, the gun shop called Cody's Firearms Experience, and second, the Dug Up Gun Museum. Those are only 2 things worth checking out in Cody. And it also shows a great example of a gun shop using positive user feedback to get the word out and to, perhaps offer an opportunity like this for me to plug them. Hopefully other people are doing the same, but also lets that customer know and lets other customers know, oh, they appreciate feedback. Maybe I'll offer some feedback. So it's a great example of a way to run a social media / business. Also one of the 2 good things to do in Cody, Wyoming. So then we get Firearms Policy Coalition, the gun policy. It says, what's her face? This is some lady from Texas who moved to Arizona because her family owned a tire store. And then when she got it, she went out of business, so she became a politician. And then as she was failing to be a politician, a Democrat wanting to make Republicans understand how bad he feared Republicans, did a mass murder, and now has used that as her platform for the rest of the time, I guess. So guns, no more guns, gone. Again, she was shot in the brain and lived because she's a politician and got the best care possible. And now she's going against the tool that was used by the Democrat zealot who murdered a bunch of people. She's going after their tool. Of course, that's the problem, the tool. Any denial that their agenda results in a complete disarmament of the people is total bullshit. Just look to what the disarmament regime leaders are saying. They want us all defenseless, desperate, dependent. Join FPC. All right, well, so is this timely? No. What has she done lately? Did she say this recently? No. This was said on a side. Like, I don't even know if this is an answer to a question. I think this was it was an answer to a question. It wasn't like she publicly made this statement. I think she was responding to something at the time. So it's relevancy, question mark, necessary. I don't know. We got to look up her nostrils and in her nose. I mean, I don't like looking at people's face this close. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like this kind of advertising or marketing or whatever this is supposed to be. Yeah, we know they're against us, but are we in a fight, or are we trying to end the whole situation? Getting us hyped at each other. Come on, move past this firearms policy. We don't need it. Then you got Stephen Holbrook, one of our authors and researchers, experts in the field, so to speak. He's been around for a long time, written quite a few books. This is an old cult advertisement. It says once in every woman's life at the top there, and then it's got a couple of old-timey pictures of a grandma talking to some girl. I think the grandma was giving her a Colt pocket pistol, the old baby Browning. And then there's another picture on the inset where she's walking down some old road, I guess, and some dude's like, "Hey lady, do you know which way it is to the," and then she shoots him. And then it says, man, I can't even tell what it says. Something about catalog number 6. It says the school teacher's story. He jumped from behind a tree and came toward me. He was powerful and desperate looking. The only thing that saved me was this Colt that Brother Bert gave me when I took the school here. I thought it was absurd to carry a pistol, but I will never again say that it is foolish for a woman to own a Colt. So, fear-based advertising back in the old days? Or was it reality when there's no cell phones and no consequences? Were dudes just lurking in the bushes to jump on chicks? I wonder if that happened back in the old days, and I wonder if our grandmas are still here, still survived to make us Thanksgiving dinners because they had stuff like Colts in their pockets. Not because each one of them had an armed gunfight, but those dudes lurking behind trees didn't know which little lady was carrying a Colt. Thus, even if that was the potential, how often did it really happen? So can't take for granted the, what's that called? Deterrence factor of an armed populace. But in any case, lots of stuff to dig into here, but I'm not going to. It says, Stephen Holbrook, he jumped from behind a tree and came towards me. He was powerful. Oh, it just says the same thing over there. All right, so I guess I could have just read his description. Anyway, interesting. I don't know why he's posting this. He just literally just wrote the description in there. It would be an interesting conversation. I'd like to have conversations about digging into the, to stuff like that, but whatever. So this is one of the people I follow who has more AKs than me. There's people with more AKs than me. This is one of them. And this is a couple of pics of 9 Polish AKs I got built this fall and are ready for a test fire and refinish. And it's just an interesting look. First off, Polish AKs are pretty decent. Like, they're some of the best. I'm not going to say they're the best made or nothing, but they're up there. They can be up there. They're up there. The Polish ones are. They're all rebuilds is the problem. So it's really hard to say Polish guns are good because they're all rebuilds. At least everything we see is a rebuild. But these are a collection of Tantals. Everything with a folding stock, it looks like, is a Tantal. And those are probably my favorite 5.56. Or 5.45 AK. The others, no, they're not all. The underfolders are the regular 7.62 by 39s. And then the stocks are probably 7.62 by 39s. I could take or leave the Polish regular AKs. They're fine, like I say. But the Tantals are towards the top of my list. So I don't have a Tantal anymore. I think Artisan Tony bought my kit. So I can't even build one anymore. I had a kit for a little while and then kind of thought about building it. Technically, I think I've owned 2 that I've built, but then sold. So no longer have one. Kind of kicking myself. It's just that I don't have 5.45, so I don't really value having 5.45s laying around that I can't shoot. But yeah, I've done that 3 times. It says couple of pics. Oh, okay. It says, I'm Polish myself and kind of partial to them. Still have some more Polish kits to finish. This group are a nice trio of AKs, AKMs, and WZ-88s. That's the Tantal. Lots of OG barrels in the mix. Oh, really? 7 Childers receivers. That's the company that built 7 of the 9 receivers in here. Each with a solo, of a recreator blank. That's a new place on the scene last couple of years, and a Nodak Spud. Very solid choice for a receiver back in the old days. shout out to whoever for building them and somebody else or something, probably the person who sold it to him or something. And then they also have it down on a Polish flag, which is cool. I like when you disrespect other countries' flags. I don't care. I don't like disrespecting our flag, but I don't give a shit about disrespecting other countries' flags, especially communist countries' flags. Well, that's a sweet pick. These are going to look way better once they're all finished, and I'm pretty sure this person does a mix of brand new and battle-worn stuff. Speaking of unapologetically armed, she's probably doing Thanksgiving stuff right now, but Davenport Guns, the people that had that bulldog a little while ago, gave her this sweatshirt, and I think it's one of the best logos out there. It's got a shoe, like a high heel shoe, a luxury shoe that has no practical use. That's only there as a luxury, and many people own dozens of them. Not dozens of inexpensive ones, but dozens of expensive ones. And for some reason, they value having multiples of what essentially look to be essentially the same thing, at least offer the same practical value. But they own many of them, and then they'll give other people a trip about owning multiples of anything, right? And then you have a gun and a pistol silhouette. And then you have a purse silhouette. Again, an item that has very little practical use, but many people own shit tons of them, and they pay a shit ton of resources, a shit ton of time and money. Most people don't pay attention to that shoes come from slavery, child labor often, and the bags often also come from the same place, unless you're buying your bag from somewhere in the United States where we've made all these labor practices illegal. People are leaning a blind eye to where their clothing and their accessories like this come from. But they'll give you a trip for owning a firearm. So new creative ways to challenge their assumption, their what they take for granted and what they ignore and what they choose to focus on and how they choose to focus on us and our property. We have ways to defend against that and to end this conversation. And this is multiple levels. One of the coolest things I've seen this year. Literally one of the coolest things I've seen this year. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me on this, but this one has such potential. I can't wait to see what happens with it. Let's see. She claims to be anti-gun, yet there's pics of her at a range with an AR-15, the very thing she wants to ban. Well, she's not anti-gun. She's pro-making money. Realize that. She's getting paid. So, you can, and we're talking about what's her face, Giffords. You can don't get upset about her. Like she's a puppet. She's got brain damage, and she's being exploited the same way they exploit the tragedy and the victims of atrocity, intentional tragedy. Not tragedy tends to mean things like that you can't prevent, natural occurrences. An atrocity is something that's created by an individual with an intent. And, she's the victim of an atrocity. She stands on the graves of victims of atrocities to profit. So don't be too worried about her. She's very insignificant in the big picture. But I also wouldn't be upset if they were carrying guns around. That doesn't prove that they love guns. Just proves that they're willing to do anything for a photo opportunity, right? So M13 and Unapologetically Armed is out there. Welcome. Yeah, I can't get enough of that logo. I hope it gets, well, actually, if they're down, I've got some patches getting ready here. Maybe we could work something out and get some patches made of that if they're interested. Let's see. So M13 is saying, this is, I don't know what this is actually. If this is something made, I've never seen it. The stock is goofy. Never seen that before. I don't know what's going on with the magwell. I mean, it's not the Chinese kit that I'm familiar with. So it says, bullpup AKs have always had a love-hate relationship with people. So some people are all about it. Others think it's abomination. What do you think? Oh, it says this is whatever this company is, kit installed into a 7.62 by 39 16-inch rifle. Trigger is modified for the kit along with the linkage kit. So, I haven't seen this company's kit or this thing before, but at least it uses standard sights. Every other one that I've seen before this one put the sights up in the freaking air. I don't know why. Okay, so we're going to go quickly look. I should have opened this in a new window. It must be... They must just make the rails or something. Russian manufacturer of flashlights, lasers, and upgrades. So, who knows? But that's what it's all about, taking a look at things. Oh, we don't have that many pictures today at all. All right, 500's taken off. Have a good one. So, Alan Anchor saying again that they've got all kinds of $5 morale patches going on and other Black Friday deals. So, if you want to get good patches, check out Alan Anchor. They also have decal stickers, flags. They still have any of those left, and they can take care of a lot of your marketing needs. If you've got if you go to shows and you've got a need for something like a table runner or a banner or something like that, they can help you out with that. From design all the way through, delivering it to your door, they can help you out with the whole shebang. So up in Washington, you get very little resources. One of the resources they do have is a thing called In the Forefront Washington, and it says November 18th is this year's, I don't know why it says 2024, but it says November 18th is International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. On this day, we remember those we've lost to suicide, and we extend our support and love to those who live with the loss. Healing takes time, and the pain of loss often stays with us forever. Of course it stays with us. What the hell? If you or someone you love needs extra support on this difficult day, please watch our video on understanding grief after loss. So, again, the asshole jerks who stand on the graves of suicide, people who've committed suicide, are also completely oblivious and just being complete assholes to the people who are survivors. Not that there's a tactic there, but we should be aware of the compounding of suffering and hardship that these numbers that we often talk about clinically, represent. So I had no idea that there was such a thing as an International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. But again, that was the 18th, so not much we can do about it now. But I can try to put it on a calendar for next year. One of the things that we value our Patreons for, I value the Patreons for, is so that we can post things like the calendar and use that calendar for awareness of things like this. The other side, again, will stand on the graves of suicide, of loss, and everything we do on this side challenges that, prevents that from being effective. So we have lots of efforts on our side. This is a way to help, maybe a time to use as a time to reflect on those organizations. Okay, I can't play the music here, but essentially what we're looking at is a drone. The video from the view from a drone. Oh, it turns out this drone was a weaponized drone. So when we talk about the future, are you thinking about direct targeted munitions? They have targets, they have munitions like this that can linger. That means they go up into the air in the morning and they just hover up there until needed so that they're available within moments to just drop out of the sky and do their thing. When you have an unlimited amount of money and you have technology, this isn't exactly difficult. This is a Raspberry Pi, this is a drone, and this is some software. Oh, and then a munition. So it says, I remember finding one of the first meth-loaded drones on the border near someplace, Isidro. I knew they were onto something. Years later, they used one to land a grenade in the backyard of a police director. Then the ISIS drones. Then Michoacan drones, bombs with pesticides. Then the Madrado assassination attempt, Ukrainian conflict, and the ones used recently on the attack with Israel. It's been interesting to see the evolution for sure. Weaponology of the sky. This footage showing a Russian soldier on a motorcycle attempting to flee a Ukrainian hunter-killer drone that was chasing him. Location unknown. So, you ready for the future? Because it ain't yesterday. It ain't anything like yesterday. That's from Ed's Manifesto. NRA. So here we go. The NRA on November 17th was founded by Civil War veteran officers. A Civil War hero and former President Ulysses S. Grant is amongst the earliest NRA leaders. Okay, I don't know why they posted all that, but it's November 17th is the anniversary, 152 years of the NRA. It says 152 years with unyielding resolve. Well, that's not true. There was no resolve other than to train people about guns in the beginning, something like 100 years. So that's misleading. To our amazing members, thank you. You're the core of our power. Okay. To our haters, buckle up. We've stood strong for 150 years. We will never back down. Well, that's a weak threat from somebody who's about to, do bankruptcy and hasn't got the shit together to understand where what their opinion, what the opinion of them is in the community. We have 4 people that are running for the board next year to be there whenever the next evolution of the NRA happens. So it's cool to hate the NRA now. Everybody thinks it's cool, like it's trendy and popular to watch it burn without getting paid by Bloomberg. Buck that trend. Fuck that shit. The NRA is 152 years old, and it's ours. The other side is scared shitless of it. They urinate every time they think about its power, and we're going to sit here and watch it burn? It's ridiculous. Makes no sense. If you don't like something, fix it. If you're too weak to fix it, shut up. I'll leave it at that. Then you got this awesome one from a friend of ours in Mexico City, I think. And he does a bunch of miniatures. And he did these little miniature. I don't know if he made them, because I guess I could translate it. It says, received these beautiful, detailed, awesome miniature embroidered badge and flag patches with military motifs yesterday. That is so cool. So I got to figure out who's making little tiny patches like that, but that's pretty neat. They look like they're sewn too. So I don't know if they're using a tiny little sewing machine or something. Pretty neat. This is from Professor Yamane. It says, stolen title for my next book, The Other Gun Owners, a story of liberal, black, feminist, and LGBT gun owners and the master scholarly narrative that marginalized them. He's looking at some other book and something else, and something similar to that. Oh, look at this. Let's see. I try to explain to people that there's many sects that are progressive, push for change. Never gets highlighted. Yeah, as soon as he said this, I was like, come on, dude. Are you suggesting that there's never been any of these guns before? Come on, man. Like, everybody has always been an owner. It's okay to talk about being a gun owner more. But whatever. So this next one is from San Diego Gun Owners. And it says, fix the headline for you. And the headline had been supervisors fail to support Newsom's constitutional amendment on gun control. They fixed it to supervisors succeed in opposing Newsom's unconstitutional amendment on gun control. So we got a fight. We have a fight in California. We could serve or figure out ways to participate in. This one says the Special Memorial Statue, affectionately named Brown's Bruce, holds the distinction of being the inaugural. Am I gone again? The inaugural memorial in the United States dedicated to honoring soldiers who valiantly served during the Vietnam War. A Special Forces soldier was chosen as the model for the statue since nearly all Army Special Operations soldiers killed in Vietnam were Green Berets. Crafted in 1968 by the renowned sculptor David DeLue, this poignant tribute was officially unveiled and dedicated on November 19th, 1969. So this was a Special Warfare Memorial statue. Pretty cool. There's a bunch of reasons for his pose and stuff too. So this is Jenny Thrasher. great idea for a social post. I'm going to turn the audio on,
Something
flip
fun,
back,
maybe for a stocking stuffer.
and then we'll flip back it to her so you get it from the beginning.
It's time for my annual gift guide. With the holidays coming up, maybe there's something on this list that you want to get a sport shooter in your life. Let's get started with something fun, maybe for a stocking stuffer. You could get colored shoelaces to match their favorite color or match their suit. These ones are $10 from Sport Shooting Depot. If you want to go a little bigger, I think this AeroFit trainer would be a lot of fun for someone who's working on their breathing this year or struggling with their breathing. I have one and it is way harder than it looks. If you have an athlete who's starting to travel more, you could get them an air tag for their gun case. These are lifesavers for peace of mind if you're going on an airplane. If you want to combine that with something to get a bigger gift, you could combine that with a hard-sided sight case from SKB that they can put sights or ammo in. Make sure to get the ones with the pickable foam. You want to get the gift of knowledge, which is priceless, of course. I would recommend my Patreon videos. So this is a monthly subscription where they get access to an entire video library of over 60 videos that are in-depth educational about shooting. So you could buy them a month for $10, or you can buy them a year membership too. Next year, it's super exciting because it's going to be the Paris 2024 Olympics. So I think you could really get the ball rolling and get them excited if they're going to be watching that on TV and cheering for their favorite athletes with a little memento. So I would recommend this mascot like bag clip that they can put on their keys or a backpack or even on their offhand stand. That is from the Paris 2024 store. I hope you guys enjoy this gift guide and have an amazing holiday season. It's time for my...
All right, again, a great example of a post for this time of year. She's letting people know, things that they might buy as a gift for somebody, and then also just give them some insight to, what shooters are into, what they dig. Another kind of along that line says, this is from our friends up in Phoenix, the Tactical Medic. Well, folks, the holidays are around the corner, and if you're enjoying the strongest economy ever, as much as I am, you're looking at a rough Christmas and Festivus or Hanukkah or whatever your idea of a good time is. Well, I'm here to help. The folks at Mil-Spec Monkey cut us a deal on some of their overstock and obsolete shirts. We're going to use them as a loss leader to lure you into our store. So drop by and grab some crazy cheap shirts and maybe restock that med kit. So again, Tactical Medic, they go to gun shows all the time. So they're out there keeping gun shows going and participating in the whole gun show scene. And they, like it says, they grabbed a bunch of t-shirts from Mil-Spec Monkey. So these are kind of classic designs. Let's see if I can get this without having to type it. And there we go. I'll throw the link in here. So if you're interested in grabbing some shirts with Mil-Spec Monkey original designs, the Secret Squirrel, that's Monkey. The door kicker one, Major League door kicker, that's Monkey. The gear, like dog bones thing, that's Monkey. All these things are been around for a long, long time. They're totally stolen and ripped off all the time. Major League Sniper, all that stuff was old. Monkey started that stuff in the early 2000s. That's some of the original morale patches. Zombie Hunter. So anyhow, if you want to, he doesn't really claim a main works. They're so ripped off, I imagine. So, or he doesn't sell them, I imagine, because everybody else can sell them for insane cheap prices. So it looks like he gave them to the Tactical Medic at a good price, and now you can check out their store. Great for, like he says, restocking your first aid kit. It's all legit stuff. They don't sell garbage at Tactical Medic, so you don't have to worry about somebody just selling because it's a good return. They're restocking kits for people overseas, so they only buy decent stuff, and you usually get the overage. If they needed 24 out of a case of 50, then they got the 26 of them sitting over at the store. So you're getting good gear that's being used to create and resupply legit first aid stuff or trauma kits. This is Rocky Mountain Gun Owners, and it's an old one, but a good one. It says it's got a picture of a trailer hitch on the back of a truck, and it's a trailer hitch that's sticking way the hell out, not just a typical trailer hitch, but one that's really sticking out there. It says this trailer hitch has hurt more people than my guns ever will. It's funny, and it's kind of an old joke, but it's legit 100% accurate. There's nothing inaccurate about this, and it illustrates how casually, because we understand this, that that's the case, but somebody else would never understand that this is the case, that this is so obvious. But anyway, I think it's funny, but it also illustrates the challenge that we've got, but also how simple it is, like how simple the challenge, that the real work is. It's just a lot of work. It's very simple work, though. We just got to let people know that this is more dangerous than our guns. Once they understand that, we're immune from anti-gunners. They only win because people don't understand guns. Anyway, this says, careful, they might come after your trailer hitch next, which is lame, but whatever. So this is from Professor Yamane saying, is this a braced pistol from 1810? And I guess technically it is, huh? So it's a flintlock single shot percussion cap pistol. I shouldn't say flintlock. It's a percussion cap black powder pistol from, I don't know, back in the day before they invented revolvers, I guess. And it definitely has a detachable shoulder attachment for it. And yeah, I mean, it's a small firearm that gives you another point of attachment, actually 2 more points of attachment with your shoulder and your cheek. Makes it a lot easier to shoot accurately. So now this gun may or may not even be rifled, but I'm sure that both for accuracy and then for ability to shoot, if you had, I don't know, any kind of a wrist issue, any kind of injury, or just any kind of issue, these guns are difficult to shoot. They're designed to kind of be held out with your arm extended. So any kind of physical issue, a physical impairment at all, would maybe even prohibit you from shooting one of these. So adding a stock like this would be completely make it completely possible compared to almost impossible. So it is an interesting illustration on the type of, on an old Ash type of gun, but it seems weird on an old gun, right? It looks like somebody who puts an optic on one of these guns or something. So in that respect, it seems like a weird juxtaposition of timelines or something. But in reality, this predates everything. This predates a revolver and any kind of rifle that exists today. It predates ammunition. So that means it predates the powder and everything except for the lead part of the projectile. It predates. There's no brass in the cartridge here. There's no primer. There's no 2 different types of compounds in there. There's black powder. There's a wad of lead that happens to be round-ish. And then there's a gun around it. I mean, this predates a lot of stuff. That being said, this looks like modern as hell, right? Like they're that very similar in design and look and function to a modern pistol brace or shoulder stock. So, really interesting. Lots of interesting stuff in that picture. Also, this guy's just now getting around to seeing some museums. So kind of neat to see somebody who's got into guns from the theoretical or from the educational and the theoretical more than the practical. And then he started getting into the practical, and now he's finding the museums. Very cool. I mean, that's not much of a museum, but whatever. A display. Maybe it'll get him hooked on the museums. Oh, I see people are joining us. Sorry, I haven't been looking over here. Chris from the 740 is joining us. There we go. Welcome. Ron Wayne. Oh, my computer's acting like crap. Ron Wayne is joining us. Welcome. New York Outcast. If anybody else is out there, I wouldn't know unless you say something, because we're not magic. We don't have robot vision or whatever. So this is from Supervel, the company that was created by the guy who invented hollow points. Unfortunately, he created it for the 9mm, but whatever. So now this company still makes Supervel 9mm Luger plus P, and they've got the girl in the red dress as the like pinup logo or the pinup girl in the red dress is the logo for this. I don't know what the dog comes from. It's some kind of cop dog, and she's got some kind of, well, do you know the gun? It's an H&K MP5. You can tell by this grip what kind of H&K it is even, or at least what range of H&Ks it is. But essentially it's her, I guess she just dropped a mag after dropping, dumping the mag. She dumped the mag and then dropped the mag. It says Yellow Friday, starting this Friday, early VIP exclusive access to our current customers. Details coming soon. That is super cool. I should have thought of something like that. Oh, it's Toto. Got it. That makes sense. I didn't even think about that. I guess it's the Wizard of Oz, huh? Duh. It's Yellow Road. I get you now. Thanks. So I don't know why the cop thing is on there. L something. Oh, Oz County Sheriff. All right, I'll shut up now. I get it. Anyway, so I think that's a cool idea to do VIP access to current customers. I kind of did that with saying anybody the other day that bought stuff, including Ron, who bought stuff at the store. Thanks for that purchase, by the way. Got extra loot, free Patch Friday, like double the stuff or triple the stuff or something. But I like the idea of having exclusive access to stuff if you're already a customer. So stay tuned for me doing that in the future. I dig it. DM Foss is saying she was down in flying monkeys. It's a good point. Oh, you know what though? No, look, there's what do you call these things? Poppers. There's 3 different poppers over here. 4 different steel poppers. Now that you're looking, there's 4 different steel poppers. Very cool. I like that on multiple levels now. And then it's also their pinup girl, but they didn't bother to, they're letting people understand it. They don't have to be, they don't have to have a little picture of her down here or nothing. It's awesome. I really like this ad. So Supervel, if I bought 9mm, this is the stuff I'd be buying. Of course, I'm not crazy. All right, let's get rid of this comment and let's get rid of the puppy because nobody wants to see a pup. Oh no, I can leave the puppy on. This is from the other day. We were chatting someplace and Unapologetically Armed made it into a thing. She came up with this and then made it into a little, what do you call this thing? Like a post. Don't predict the changes, be responsible for them. Very cool. And that's sort of the attitude of the Women for Gun Rights and some of the other organizations out there. Let's see. So this is pretty cool. Do you know that there's the shooting parasports have been happening in Santiago? Yeah. Well, U.S. won 3 golds, 1 silver, and 3 coppers or bronzes or whatever they are. Brazil came in with 2, 2, and 2 right behind us, and then Cuba. After that, Colombia and Peru. So pretty cool. Am I crazy, or does that mean our hemisphere can kick the shit out of all the other hemispheres? I'm just saying. Nobody in another hemisphere even won this thing. So when's it time for all the Americas to unite and tell Europe to go crap off? So we can shoot better than them. Just in place. We could pay attention to our shooting sports, or we cannot. Paris 2024. Is anybody paying attention to our Olympics shooters? Guns are more than just for being scared of bad guys or whatever. Let's see. So Maj Toure is also, he's raising funds, and he's also a great example of someone who's doing the content creation, Second Amendment focused project facilitation in an interesting way, in a very successful way. So he starts off saying, yes, I'm fighting an unconstitutional and illegal gun case. Yes, I'm facing jail time. Yes, I'm still focused on work so this fight can continue. The work needs financial support. And then the next slide says, the fact that we're fighting to fundraise this hard, blah, 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 have blah, blah, blah. We are spending money on bullshit, but then complain about the anti-gunners. Help us train more urban Americans and get them involved politically. Here's how you can support in 3 ways. Be a $100 donor, needs 87 of those, or, and be a $1,000 donor. So he's, breaking down how, he needs to get to this cash. Be a $5 donor, needs 1,000 of those. Repost this twice a day, so giving people a call to action, an actual thing to do. Need 2,000 folks to do that until Friday. So again, letting people know how it breaks down, that this is steps to a goal, and you can understand that, or you can be an observer of it happening or not. But here's the necessary. Need help? We're fighting and those inexpensive ways to do people opportunity. Now he's got to show that he's, what he's accomplished or portions of what's accomplished, what's being done. Then he's got pictures of merch, right? That's available. Another video of the kind of stuff that's getting
administration
hype, I guess. Like, here's what's happening.
Stack the deck.
Probably reiterating what's in the earlier posts. And then a post showing again how they accomplished what he's talking about accomplishing here. So, just saying, hey, go to my Patreon. I do that all the time, but I don't expect massive results. Maj is raising, I think he's way past $500,000 at this point. He's buying a building in Philadelphia. He travels around and does these free, what do you call them, lectures, like presentations, like they're interactive, so they're not a presentation. I don't know what to call them. He does these events all around, and then he documents them, and he gets people up, aware and hyped. And I tell you what, I would assume that somebody who's just minding their business and then learns that they've been duped for their whole life. I mean, you tell me, a lot of people out there are folks who have become gun owners in their adult years. You get pissed, right? Don't you get pissed that you thought guns were one thing when you found out there's something else? So how does that happen when he takes guns to whole regions of the country, areas of the country, cities, neighborhoods where people have been told one thing about guns their whole life? Once they experience what guns are and they start having ownership in firearms, and you know what I mean? Like, is that person just going to sit like a bump on a log watching YouTube videos, watching, Instagram posts, or are they going to be pissed about it and tell their friends about it? So I dig what he's getting done, accomplished. And like I say, he's getting it funded, and he's essentially showing you a modern, successful method of, engaging and getting participation. And it's not magic. He's just putting in the work. He's getting it done. So congratulations to him. Thanks to all the people that are helping him out. If you got the ability to do so, he's like literally breaking it down here to how close he is. He's about 1,100 people away from having purchased a property in Philadelphia, and then funding an entire year of outreach and advocacy. Everybody else just plays their cards behind the table and is like, oh yeah, it all gets done magically. So you can do it or not, but I think it's a great example. And again, it's a success. At whatever level you want to look at it, he's been successful at it. There's other things out there. It's just that I get to poke at him because I can illustrate his because he posted on Instagram. If anybody else posted their stuff on Instagram, I'd be happy to show you that too. Everybody else plays their cards behind the table though, or under the table, or whatever you want to say. Now getting out from behind the table, you get the Arizona Military Vehicle Show, which just happened, and it looks like the week after SHOT or the weekend after SHOT Show. So I don't know if this might be on my radar or not. I haven't been up there in a long time. So I think it's a whole nother thing since anything I've experienced before. I thought it said somewhere, maybe I saw something else that said how many vehicles might be there. But I think it was somebody who's going to be there who was saying something in their post. But I don't know if you go to military vehicle shows ever. They're pretty neat. You can go to Dragon Man's place and essentially get one of the ultimate tours of military vehicles. A good chunk of his museum is vehicles. I want to say, half of it, I guess. You could say about half of his museum is vehicles. It's just hard to know. Vehicles are bigger. He has a ton of vehicles, but he has every gun. So, yeah, it's hard to say with Dragon Man's. There are a couple of other military vehicle museums, but I have not been to them all. So seeing a vehicle show is about the closest I've experienced to having a lot of vehicles. Sometimes at the big gun shows here in Arizona, the Military Vehicle Collectors Club will show up with some of them, and it's super impressive. So having an entire car show or an entire vehicle show of them must be pretty cool. It says there's a swap meet, so I can't go if there's money, if I have money, because I won't have money when I'm done. I think I could probably buy all kinds of dumb things at a military vehicle show that I don't need. But anyway, I don't know if they have these in your area, but another way, it's adjacent to firearms that we can support community. I doubt too many people in the Arizona Military Vehicle Show exhibitors are not gun people. You know what I mean? It's kind of adjacent. Let's see. This is the last one, I guess. Gun owner. This is a poll from NBC News. Gun ownership reaches record high with American electorate. A record share of voters in NBC News' latest poll say they or someone in their household owns a gun. All right, there's a chart here in a second, so it'll be more interesting. But the first couple of sentences here say, more than half of American voters, 52%, say they or someone in their household owns a gun, per the last poll. There's NBC poll. That's the highest share of voters who say they or someone in their household owns a gun in the history of the NBC polls. And our questioning goes back to 1999. So, number one, dumbass, who cares? In 1990, how about 1980? How about 1970? That would be actually a long time. 1999 is the lifespan of the internet. So, you can get all kinds of data since 1999. NBC News data is not unique or special, and it's probably not even anywhere near as good as some of the other data you can get, from the early internet. But anyway, they think it's a big deal that 52% is an all-time high. All right, so now let's look at the little bar graph over here. So the questions they asked gave them this data. The red lines are Republicans. The purple lines are independents, and the blue line on the bottom is the Democrats. And then this first set is 2004. Then you get 2013. Then you get 2019, and then you get 2023. So why they pick these particular dates is beyond me, because we all know that the assault weapons ban ended in September of 2004. So asking people in March of 2004 was either stupid or ignorant. You pick. Either they were unaware of the time that they were asking people months before an assault weapons ban was ending, or they're intentionally asking it ahead of time because they want to skew the numbers, which is stupid. So they're either ignorant or stupid, or manipulative, stupid, right? Or ignorant, manipulative, whatever. Then we get February of 2013. That's interesting because it's 2 months after Obama's threat of using 21 executive actions to remove the Second Amendment. So asking people moments after the first attack on civil rights since 1994 was interesting. And then they chose 2019, August of 2019. I don't know enough about that era. Did something happen in 2019? I don't know why they asked the question. There was probably a reason they asked these questions. Do they just randomly ask these questions, or do they ask them after a tragedy, after an atrocity, to attempt to gain support of their fucking agenda, right? So then the last one is November of 23. And as you can see, the red line goes up and down, but it essentially goes up the whole time. The purple line goes kind of up, but then craps out. So independents, what the fuck? Like, don't you like guns? What's up with that, independents? And then Democrats also goes up. So essentially it's saying more Republicans and more Democrats own guns than they ever did, essentially. So it says this month, 66% of Republicans surveyed say that or someone in their household, while 45% of independents and 41% of Democrats. So what they failed to acknowledge is that 41% of Democrats is up from 30% at all-time low, 33% of sort of the average Democrats. So 10% or more Democrats, or I should say around 10% more Democrats are gun owners now. And then it goes on to talks about some other stuff. But anyway, I thought that was interesting to understand that in reality, even the people on the opposing political side have to acknowledge that more people are in possession of firearms. Therefore, there's fewer people in the middle that are unaware of firearms. Every firearms owner has a family, right? Or they have people at work or school or church, people that they interact with. So those are potential advocates for the concept of gun ownership. Oh, you own a gun? Oh, why did you buy a gun? Right? Oh, that person owns a gun. That's awareness. And that's what's necessary for the antis, or that's what kills the antis. That's the neutralizing antidote. As soon as people go, oh, that guy owns a gun. Oh, I thought gun owners were crazy. That guy's not crazy. Gun owners aren't crazy. That's what happens. It happens that quickly in their brain. So now the next person comes along and say, all gun owners are crazy. And I'm using crazy in a bad way here, but that's how they'll use it. And now there's an immunity. Now that person who doesn't even own a gun, who's aware of someone who does own a gun, can say, oh, wait a minute, that's not true. Right? And hopefully when we win this, we'll have illustrated to those people, well, I guess what politicians, they were wrong about guns. They really misled us about guns for so long. Then the next thing, wonder what else they're misleading us about. So you want to change the future? Support gun ownership, support the civil right of gun ownership. And what we'll accomplish is not just securing our descendants' future of freedom, but will kind of awaken the general populace that when you only pay attention, you only observe and you don't participate, you become a mechanism, you become used. And once you start to participate, the people that were using you they have to leave. There's nothing for them to do anymore. So anyway, whatever. It says there's somebody saying that video with the cheap guns is cool, but I was really wondering what that tiny little gun with the blunderbuss type barrel. I don't remember the name of that thing. If I go to my YouTube, though, that was made by a guy who makes those little things, and there's a model for it and everything. I just don't remember what it is. It's expensive. I bought that when I was making silly YouTube money, so it's not cheap. That's an expensive little stupid gun. It's not stupid. It's an expensive little gun, but there's whole videos on it, so I'm gonna look. Blunder. Let's see what happens if I just type in blunder. I lost my mouse. Where's my mouse? Okay, that didn't work, so now I'll try Blunder Plus. Okay, so there's the big one. Here's the tiny one. Here's a bonus special video. It'll eventually start, I think.
All right, so this is the Charleston Minigun Works Model B pistol. B stands for blunderbuss. So it's a blunderbuss 2mm pinfire. You can see it's got a little jar of pinfire ammo there. And it's got I guess this is a cleaning rod maybe. And then it's got a cleaning rod there.
Can you hear it?
It's a nice little handcrafted box. And we've got it next to its big brother blunderbuss there. Little difference in size, I'd say. So very cool. So let's take a look at why this is such a neat little 2mm pinfire compared to some of the others out there. First off, it's a blunderbuss, which is neat. But let's take a look at some of the other options. So this is an option, a less expensive, but another pinfire option. And this particular one is a tie tack, or a tie clip, I guess I should say. This little one is much more of a novelty, and it's just made out of some stamped metal and very cheesy engraving there. It was really just made as like a keychain, kind of a novelty gift. And I think they retailed for about $20. This one does not have a full barrel. It's the exhaust blows out the top hole there, well, the top and bottom hole. It breaks open. You put in the pinfire round, and then the trigger drops the hammer. Now this set, is a pretty ratty one, but one I've had since I was a kid. And it came with little gelatin capsules with 2mm pinfire caps and a little tie clasp. And these sell for, in much better condition, these sell for $200 or thereabouts. A similar option, but not exactly the same as one of these flare guns. These are from Austria. These are little working revolvers, and they are also just made out of sheet metal, and they're also very expensive. So I'm not sure how well it'll come across in the video, but this little blunderbuss is definitely made with higher quality and more precision than either of these other two. Even though this one's a working revolver and it's pretty good quality, it's all just stamped metal, where this one's all milled out and it's got a real barrel. And the wooden grips are nice. So let's load it up and hear what it sounds like.
There's the pin.
It just inserts into the little chamber there. It's neat. You don't have to push the button to lock it back into position. The hammer's back. That's pretty loud.
That was the dog running away.
That got everybody upset. So that was pretty loud. So that was pretty neat.
That was Oro back then.
I guess because of the straight barrel, I'm so used to hearing them where they're kind of diminished, I guess, because they have angled holes. That was pretty neat. Little blunderbuss, 2mm pinfire. I guess let's go ahead and empty it.
All right, so that's that one.
And I think I'll save that and see if we...
And then on this one, I think we shoot something.
All right, we're taking a look at Charleston Minigun Works. This is their Model B blunderbuss. This is an actual working firearm. We've got a hammer, trigger, little release there, barrel, chamber, muzzle, grip, everything like a real gun. Very much like its big brother, the real blunderbuss there. So this one uses a 4mm pin shot or rim 4mm pin fire. So we've got the cap and ball pistol, and then next to it here we've got the 4mm pin fire.
I think it's a 2mm.
A little tiny,
I don't know why I keep saying
piece
4.
of guitar string looking stuff sticking out of it, which is the pin, and then the tiny, basically, cap. That's going to go into the back here, very much like the cap on a cap and ball, with the pin pointed up, and you can see there's a little tiny slot in the top of the chamber. And as that slides in, the pin falls into that line. And where the rod go? Push that in. Okay, then we can close the barrel. Now we've got the standard, I don't even know if it's standard, but that's like it might be a 30 caliber lead ball. And then we've got some steel shot here, or lead shot, which is actually the projectile for this little guy. So we can drop one in there, or a couple perhaps. And now just the cap alone is going to be enough to send those off. All right, so we've strategically placed this bottle of water in this tree, and we're going to shoot the pinfire blunderbuss at it. Hopefully the balls won't come out, and we'll see what kind of results we get. So far the bottle is in one piece after that, and I guess I can't really tell where any of the projectiles hit it, if they even hit it. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this as your personal defense gun, but I think I will recommend shooting this a lot more in future videos.
Shit, that was 8 years ago. 2015, the end of my doing videos era. So anyway, that's that little thing. There's a lot of money. You can look it up. It's a foolish amount of money. Let's see. So I think that was, Unapologetic Arm said that there's a new post just today. What does this say? Hard to read the wall, but it says, what is any nation after all? And what is a human being but a struggle between conflicting, paradoxal, opposing elements, and they themselves and their most violent contest, important parts of that one identity and its development. What the fuck? I don't know what the hell is that supposed to say. So there's one from Unapologetically Armed. Spectators are discouraged. Participate. Right on. That's pretty cool. So we'll give that a like. And then giving it a heart over here. Oh, great. I gave it a heart. Let's go down, and this is when you give it a heart, you can see who liked it. It's like kind of publicly saying, I'm joining this list. So if somebody wanted to, they could click on that list and go, oh, look, these are all the people that also liked this post. Then you can click on this, and this gives you the ability to reply, to interact. Right? So then you don't have to spell right anymore. Spelling is for suckers. Let robots spell everything for you. Just put the gist of it down there and then spend a half an hour letting the robots fix it. I think that's right. Boom. And now that made a comment, right? So I clicked on the little speech blurb. Now, if I was on my phone, here, let's just do it so that you can see what I'm talking about at this point. Somebody's talking about this. So let me grab my phone and get into the Instagrams. And we'll flip over to puppy view real quick like. So now we're in puppy view. Here I am on the Instagrams. This is Soldiers Systems. Gray Man Group. Looking up what's his faces. Eventually we'll find... Maybe. Okay, we'll find everything but. So we'll go straight to... Whoa, what happened here? Go to... How do you find somebody? Isn't this how you find somebody? It's all freaking nudie girls. Unapologetically. Boom. Now you can go straight to her account. Boom. So now if I click this little thing... I can, wait a minute, send it to, here we go, add to story. I have to find it now. And then, not now, I can wiggle it, do this, say stuff on it, I guess. Done. And then I can move that words around, this simple, right? There's a million things you can do in here. I'm just kind of touching the concept here. But you can really play around in here quite a bit. Then say next, and then share it with people specifically, to the whole group, send it to someone directly, and then boom, now it's off to everybody, I guess. And then that's what the little airplane thing does. So, oh, I just closed it. So when you're on Instagram, normally I'm on this page. When you're on Instagram, these circles at the top are what we just sent it to. So we sent that little paper airplane of Unapologetically Arms post, and boom, that's what it is. So that'll be up there for 24 hours for whatever reason. And then when people start, like here's one, here's one, here's one, you just scroll through, and that's one of the ways people experience Instagram, is by just watching these little pictures. Other people watch Instagram by scrolling this way through the photographs. I don't see, it won't show you guns. Everything I look at is guns, but notice if I click on this, what happened? It's all girls, some military stuff, but it's all like, hey, look at girls. It won't show you what you follow. It shows you, it won't show you guns at least. And I guess they said that they just turned off knives also. So most people are using Instagram like this. Like this is my own page. I guess this is to monitor your own stuff, but most people are either going to scroll Instagram this way or monitor or scroll Instagram this way, I guess. This one makes noise, and you have to watch where if you just scroll this way, almost rarely, if there's a video, you have to play it. It just, it'll only show you stuff. It won't start yapping at you. So if you're sitting somewhere where you don't want to make a bunch of noise come out, then it's not gonna make noise. Let's see, go over here and put the puppy cam back on. So thanks for Unapologetically Armed for posting a new thing and giving us a chance to talk about it. I guess the last thing I should mention is, so you got the heart. That's a public thank you and a way that everybody else can interact and see who's. So if you go to a post and you think, oh man, this is the post, and you click over here, you can see who else thinks this is so great. So you might find other people to be connected with or follow or whatever you want to say on the social platforms by this interaction. Obviously, the same thing applies when you make a comment, because whenever you go to a post where there's a bunch of comments, you can see the person who made the comment. You can hover over their name. It makes it even easier to interact with those people. It also shows you that their level of interaction is, their participation is more. So then they try to show you how the paper airplane sends it up to your circles. So essentially you're taking a picture and sending it to a circle. You're moving it around on Instagram. And then this last one is when you put it into what we've been looking at. Like I'm going to go into Instagram now and look at my page. And this is the stuff that I post, but this is the stuff that I save, right? And I have a lot of folders where I save stuff. I keep important information in here. For example, here's information on the 9mm. I'm constantly researching 9mm. And, there's some government studies that have been done. This shows how much 9mm sucks graphically. This is an example of the factory labor at a 9mm factory. It's horrible conditions. More horrible conditions about 9mm being built in a factory. And so forth. You got to keep track of these things because this information is out there. Here's more information on the 9mm. So I keep track of that in the one of the folders, but then I have other folders for things that are important. Eventually it'll open again. Oh, I'm at it. For things like Every Second Matters, right? Stuff like the calendar events, stuff from gun channels back in the day. I kept this one for future live chat topics, so that if I was going to be doing a show daily for a long time, I could keep a idea of stuff to talk about. That it's just another way of making notes. This one's just all ammunition pictures. One of the ways to use Instagram is to repost your pictures, and a cool picture. Somebody looks at it once, okay, great, but maybe it's worth looking at again. Sometime down the road. So you save your pictures on Instagram and it facilitates reposting them later. So for me, it would be, let's have a conversation about bullets or something. And I know I got, let's say, a picture of my 22 collection. And instead of trying to look all over Instagram for it, I can go to my saved folders, go to my ammunition pile, and go through it real quick compared to looking through all my Instagram pictures. And you can see some of these are duplicates, that I have reposted and added in here and stuff. Back in the day, had time to talk about ammo all the dang time. One day I'll get to an ammunition. There's a whole gun show for ammunition. Here's the Kalashnikov folder. Oh wow, I got a whole bunch of stuff in there. I'm glad I got Tony in there pointing. Like, what does that have to do with Kalashnikov? Here's the Glock folder. A lot of people are interested in what I got in my Glock folder. Oh, 2 pictures. Looks like I don't use all of these folders that much. Unless they stole my pictures. Maybe they stole my pictures. Here's the ninja one.
Ninja! yourself. Ninja.
Back in the days, you just had to call out a ninja, and they'd jump out and fight you. All right, well, I guess we're done. What time is it? Do we have Cape Gunworks on the horizon yet? I think I did this show way too early today, unintentionally, because I don't know the time zones y'all live in anymore. I think I'm way early. So it's 12:30, evidently nowhere near the time that Cape Gunworks is going to go live. So what else can I point to over here? Foss, do you have a show posted already for Saturday? On Saturdays, Foss will typically hosts a overnight show, a show for the people that are awake in the middle of the night. And right now it's kind of alternates between the mouse party and the overnight. This weekend will be an overnight, if I'm correct. So I don't think I see a link for that one yet. I don't have my stuff posted for the rest of the week. So what I'll do instead is post to our Amazon page, because that's what I've been concentrating on this week. Is it's Black Friday week, and a lot of people will be purchasing stuff. So in preparation of that, I've been working on our Amazon page, our Amazon store, essentially. And I'm going to drop a link for that. So if anybody's shopping on Amazon this weekend or this week, consider using our link. You don't have to buy anything from our store that we suggest or anything. But when you purchase stuff on Amazon, if you go in through our front door, essentially, like you go into our page and then go shopping, then what happens is Amazon knows who sent you there, and we get a little cut, usually like 2% of, well, actually right now it could be as much as 10% depending on the thing. I think maybe it's 7%, but it's a decent cut when you add it all up. So you don't pay nothing more. If you don't know how Amazon works, you don't pay anything more. You just buy your stuff, hopefully on sale, buy your stuff however much you want to pay for it. It's just that because we sent you there, because you went in through our front door, we get a cut. So that applies to everybody else you see who has an Amazon link. So if there's somebody out there who you value, you like what they're doing, and they've got an Amazon link, I highly encourage you to, when you go to Amazon, take a moment, go to their page, go to our page, click on the Amazon link, and purchase your stuff through Amazon. It's just such a efficient way right now to help fund people. If people are using it, then it becomes either a trickle or a flow of income. So with this week and everybody doing their purchases and stuff, it'd be much appreciated if you consider our link, or Gizzard has a link, Gear Report has a link, Snob has a link, Clover has a link, Ghost has a link. Pretty much everybody out there who's trying to fund, to make their projects bigger are going to have some kind of an Amazon link. So keep us in mind. It's a way to, as a capitalist, throw a little bit of your resources around, and this definitely helped us out on this project, on our projects this year. That being said, we'll be doing a trivia show. I'm not sure when Toby's going live, so should we do the trivia thing right now, or should I wait till this evening? Let me know. I think we'll do a trivia show today. I've been chomping at the bit to do one, but I've been doing a bunch of Amazon stuff, honestly. So, Amazon, it's great, but I'd like to do this trivia show and see what happens with it. So I'm not getting any feedback right now. I'm guessing everybody's just falling asleep at this one, at the end of this one. We'll do it later on today then, perhaps. So, thanks everybody for joining us live. And I wish I could point you to the next thing. Can I? I'm refreshing my subscription. Oh, I guess I could do this in front of you. Rescription. Oh, I can't. Where did it go? Nothing from Cape Gunworks yet. All right, and I don't have anything else upcoming that I can link us to. I always like to link to something if I can. So with this, we'll end it. I'll throw a commercial up again. Thanks everybody who's been buying stuff at the store. Ron Wayne was out there. He bought something earlier this week. Much appreciated. We will be doing some Cyber Monday stuff, but until then, thanks for watching.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.